So, coming back to our ongoing series of giving these straw hats devil fruit, I want to talk about Nami today because there's some stuff in the story that's going on and it's going great for her. So, I don't want to talk too much about that and spoil for people not up to date, but I just want to talk about what devil fruit Nami would have if we gave her one. And of course, you know, the way we do this will be the same as always. For those of you who are new, the way we do this is that, you know, I have my own list. I've compiled the best devil fruits for Nami, including the one that Oda said. And, you know, I talk about those. I say my number one pick, and then it's up to you guys. You guys can also say your picks, what you guys think will be the best. And the only rule is that it has to suit them, right? And preferably not only in a combat sense, but also with their character. Can you think of any gags? Can you think of how they'd use it outside of battle, right? Anything else, right? And just as long as it suits them, it doesn't matter if it's canon, filler, if you make it up yourself, that's all that matters. So, with that being said, before we get into it, as always guys, like, subscribe, the usual. If you're worried about spoilers, check the description. I put, you know, a spoiler tag there for all my videos so you know where you have to be. But let's get into it. Now, like I said at the beginning, we always go through, you know, Oda's pick first. And for Oda in SBS volume 98, when someone asked him about what devil fruits the straw hats would have, he gave Nami the Goro Goro no Mi, which is Enel's fruit. And Enel's fruit makes a lot of sense. Nami has been, you know, Nami's main attack is thunder, right? And a Logia on top of that, it would be even better. Oda says, you know, she'd be so unstoppable, you know, apart from Luffy, who could still stop her because he's rubber, of course. But that pick makes too much sense. But I still have my own picks. So now that we've gone through Oda's, let's get through mine. My number 5 pick is very general, and I haven't, you know, narrowed it down in any degree, so it's up to you guys if you want to, but it's some kind of cat fruit, some neko no Mi. Now of course we have, I think, a couple or maybe just one, apart from Lucci's. I don't know if we have any other neko no Mi's, but you know, I'm not talking about a big cat like that. I'm talking about a cat, you know, which would probably be a pet or something like that. That kind of neko no Mi. I think Nami could have one like that and it'd be great. It would go with her epithet of being the Doro Neko, the cat burglar, if I'm not mistaken. And it would fit in that sense, you know, how fickle she is, you know, how she can just switch sides and be like, you know, go for whatever is going to help her the most in that situation, which we've seen her do in the story before. So that kind of aspect would fit Nami's character very well. And then we go on to pick number 4, which is the Inu no Mi model Kitsune. And, you know, it's a dog fruit, but, you know, that kind of feels like a cat fruit. A 9-tailed fox fruit feels like a cat fruit. Especially because, you know, foxes, once again, are very sly. You know, foxes are often depicted to be cunning, which, you know, fits with Nami. There's also the transformation aspect. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot, because right now it's Katarina Devon who has this, and it's the first time we've seen it. It's a mythical devil fruit, so that is its own category of, you know, we don't know what's going on there. But, you know, you can imagine that whatever this 9-tailed fox devil fruit offers would fit well with Nami and everything that she has, or everything that she has in terms of her character and her abilities. Although maybe not the weather part, but, you know, other parts of her character. It would fit well. So number 4 is the 9-tailed fox. Now at number 3, we have Boa's Mero no Mi. I think the translation is the love fruit, I'm not quite sure, but you can see how this makes sense. Nami is the most popular female character in the whole One Piece story. So her having a love fruit, my bad, would make sense. It would make sense considering, you know, you could play up those parts of the characters, and as we've seen with Boa, just because she has the Mero no Mi, it's not always that she's played up for, you know, lovey-dovey stuff, or I don't know how to describe it. It's not just that part. We've seen it being used in ways where it's like, okay, this is full-on combat. This has nothing to do with love right now. These are, you know, either Boa is using kicks or arrows, and this is just destruction, right? It's not always with love. So you could still have serious moments with Nami's character without it relying on the whole love aspect of the fruit. And that's why I like that part of it. But again, mainly because Nami is the most popular female character, I thought it would just make sense and be fitting. Now at number 2, I actually have 2 devil fruits tied together, and this is the Yuki Yuki no Mi and the Hiya Hiya no Mi. Monet, before she died, her devil fruit, and, you know, Aokiji's current devil fruit, both of them Logia type, both of them great. Nami obviously being a great character, but a big glass cannon in the story. So her having a Logia would be great. I mean, of course, as far as we know, all top tiers have Haki, so it wouldn't completely make her safe against all these top tiers when they are fighting, but it would help her quite a bit. I also imagine Nami is the kind of character who would be able to, you know, figure out or master the ability to at least kind of like dodge and morph her body really quickly. So that might help. I imagine her being that kind of character. And overall, it just adds another facet, because we've seen Monet, you know, create snow, but also blizzards as well. So it's not just making snow and just it's sitting there or whatever. And we've seen how dangerous it could be, you know, in Punk Hazard. Aokiji literally changed the landscape to snowy mountains and, you know, forever blizzard going on. So, I mean, maybe Nami won't be that strong, but it would be useful. And then on top of that, we get more stuff, because as far as I know, there's only 2 main things that Nami ever does with her climate attack at this point. Number 1 is just thunder tempo, just all the time. And then if she's not doing that, she'll probably do some, the Mirage with the heat balls and the cool balls. And then, you know, every once in a while she'll maybe just pull out something else, like when she made it rain on Cracker Soldiers to make them softer or something like that. Every now and then she'll pull out something else, but most of the time it's either Mirage or it's the Thunderbolt. So this will add another facet into Nami's abilities. Something that she can just draw out of, which is different, which, you know, she could use against opponents which she'll struggle with more or less than, and who have different abilities that counter her own. And finally, we get to the last pick, and the last pick, which I think is the best for her, is the Soru Soru no Mi. This is Big Mom's current devil fruit, the Soul Soul fruit, which I always have to remember, because Soru Soru no Mi sounds like the Rokushiki technique, Soru. So I always get confused, and I'm just like, what, there's a devil fruit of that? I'm like, no, it's meant to sound like soul in English, soru soru. But I think this will be the best, because it not only offers her like a wide range of weather abilities, because now she'll not only be able to make her own Zeus and use that in her thunder attacks, but she can have her own Prometheus, which would be great for moments in the story where she, you know, maybe she, instead of relying on the heat balls and that kind of stuff, she can use her own Prometheus, right? And, you know, with the new Zeus, she can also make it rain. I mean, she can probably make it rain with this current Zeus, but we've never seen that, so we're not really sure. Or maybe she needs to do a new cloud, because maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll be like, no, this cloud doesn't make it rain. It only, you know, creates thunder. I'm not great on weather, so I don't know. We'll leave it to Nami to figure out those details. But I also imagine that something I was thinking about is that she could make a homie, well, rather an attack using, you know, a homie that focuses on wind and maybe create tornadoes like that. So once again, just adding a whole lot more into her repertoire, and, you know, more than just, oh, I'm Nami, I'm great with weather, but I only ever use thunder attacks. Right? A bit more than that, right? Just broadening her horizons. And then apart from that, again, because we're looking at stuff that's not only good for fighting. Moving away from the fighting, we have the whole aspect of just Nami's character. Now, in Whole Cake Island, we found out that the way it works is that around every 6 months or so, the residents of Totland give their souls, and that's kind of what creates the homies that, you know, are around the whole Totland. I think it's what's in the chess peacekeepers, soldiers. I can't remember exactly how they're called. It's what's in the Seducing Woods. People like let me not butcher some names here, but that rabbit and the stork in the Seducing Woods, Randolph, I think Rudolph. Randolph sounds better. Correct me on this name, but I think it's Randolph. But it's what makes them up, right? And what makes them, you know, a bit, there's a word for this when they become human, but anyway, it's what makes them like that. And instead of Nami's actually collecting souls and putting them into homies the way they do, I imagine Nami's will go around collecting money from people, right? So if you owe Nami money, she'll send one to go to you. right? And it'll come, and they won't look like the way big moms want. Just look like empty blobs that are like leave or life, right? They won't look like that, right? They look a bit more like the one that hangs around with pudding, right? That little turquoise one with the hat and everything. I imagine Nami's ones would probably have a hat as well. And that's what Nami's ones would look like, and they'd come for your money. And I imagine that she'll probably set it up in a way that if you don't pay her money or if you're taking time, she'll do something to you. Now, I'm not saying that she'll do something as bad as Big Mom, right? I'm not saying that she'll literally take 50 years of your lifespan away from you. But I imagine whatever she'd do would be like Perona, right? Where Perona has the negative hollows that just, it make you feel negative. So it hurts you, but it's not something that's a serious threat to your life. And I imagine Nami would be a bit of the same way with, if she had the Zoro fruit, right? And again, just, I could imagine her using them to see, it's like, oh, what's going on with the weather? Oh, she sends, a homie to go out and look, maybe her version of Zeus goes to look and see, okay, if we go that way, is it going to be great or is it going to be bad, right? She already has great ability to tell weather in her surroundings, but this will just amp it up. And if it's ever a case where they run into a situation where it's like, okay, the weather is bad, but we actually need to go that way, we can't just run away, she can maybe change the conditions a bit. Maybe not on a wide scale in which she just makes it a whole clear day, but just make it a bit more favorable so the journey is not as perilous as it normally would be. Now, I forgot to mention this, but it would be interesting to see the personalities of Nami's homies, since as we know, Big Mom's homies, or at least the 3 main ones, are facets of her own personality that have just been drawn out in the homies. And it would be interesting to see how it would work for Nami. Would she have one that's just devoted to, happiness punch? Or one that's just devoted to, Nami's love of money and all that kind of stuff, like what I was talking about earlier? Or would we have one that's kind of like Nami's motherly side? Just to get these would be very fun. But these have just been my thoughts. Let me know as always what you guys think. Did I pick good fruits? Is the soul fruit the best? Are there other fruits that are better? Did you come up with your own? All that kind of stuff. Please like this video if you like the video. Subscribe for more content like this. If you know someone who's your truth, share this video with them. If you have time, watch my other videos. The Zoro video, Sanji video. I've got those, so go watch those. And as always, guys, this is King KZ. I'll see you in the next one.